Hello everyone! Welcome to Finding Ithaca. Finding Ithaca is a Starfinder Actual play that will tell the story of a group of people from all corners of the galaxy finding a long-lost treasure that has been nicknamed Ithaca. This episode is a prologue episode that centers on one of the characters, Quinn Garou, and how he becomes involved in the search. A quick little disclaimer before we begin, I am very new to audio editing and this was the first recording and the first one I edited, so the quality isn't where I would like it to be, but I hope you can enjoy it nonetheless. So let's get started. Westless is a small dwarven planet on the edges of one of the more isolated solar systems. Not many people know about it, but those who do know to keep far, far away from it. Unless you're desperate for information. Constantly shrouded by the larger planets orbiting the central star, this planet lives in almost eternal darkness. Fortified by scattered ships, reaching this planet is near impossible unless you have permission from the infamous information broker that owns this planet, Caroline Jackson. We start off with some people. Christian, your character, Quinn Garou, if I'm pronouncing that correctly,
Yes.
is currently traveling with 3 companions. Irving, Luna, and Tony. You've been traveling with these people for quite a while. Enough that they can be trusted to an extent. Trust is a very small word when you do what you do. You've all been summoned to Westless by Caroline herself, which is not very common. Caroline is someone who you go to. She never comes to you. So receiving this request definitely piqued your interest. You see the planet in sight and the ships that initially eye you down quickly recognize you and your crew and let you pass. As you get closer to this planet, Quinn, describe your character. What are they doing? What do they look like?
Quinn Garou. He is a Vesk, so he's a big lizard person. Well, not really big. He's moderate size. He's about like 5'9", 5'10", which is small for a Vesk. He is, if I had to describe a reptile that he's based off of, he is based off of a panther chameleon. That's very, very sharp and angular face, with striped scales going from his head all the way down his back, disappearing into like a nice looking suit. Nothing as brazen as what a pirate or outlaw would wear, but very, very professional. What profession that is, all depends on who you ask. Depends on the day, it depends on the job. But for right now, it's just very going to meet your boss, or a boss of yours, or someone that is of that level, and showing them the respect they deserve, not dressing like riffraff. Their pronouns are he, they. Yeah, he, they. And they're right now, I think, just looking up profiles of old characters they've been, and who they might want to portray in the future, depending on whatever job this may be. Because Caroline is not one to skimp on a good job, especially if you're being called for it.
Yeah, and as you're kind of looking through these profiles, you feel two hands kind of grasp your shoulders as they kind of jump down and have two hands land on both of your shoulders in a very kind of playful manner. As Tony kind of shakes you excitedly. Oh my god, Caroline called us. This is so exciting. I've never been summoned by Caroline. I don't know anyone who's been summoned by Caroline. This is big. It's gotta be. What do you think it is? A murder? We have to infiltrate something? We have to kidnap someone? What do you think?
I mean, if I had to guess, this is just me talking, you know. Maybe a bit of everything, you know. Just a nice menagerie of our skill sets. I mean, they would have just called one of us if it was just a one-time thing, but since they need all of us, it must be big, you know.
You know what big means? Big job, big money. Ugh. The ladies are gonna love me swimming in the amount of money I'm about to get from the Caroline Jackson.
We haven't gotten that money yet, Tony. You haven't gotten it yet. You can't celebrate too early. You can't do that. You know this guy.
Have we ever failed a job? I mean, come on. We have a Luna. And Luna's kind of just standing to the side, surveying the ships as she kind of tilts her head. Kind of, it's thoroughly notion that you get that she's heard you. And she just kind of brings out a dagger and starts flipping it, kind of intertwining it with her fingers. Well, I am the only one that can do whatever it takes to get the job done. And Tony just, yeah, kind of, as someone who has witnessed firsthand the kind of things that Luna is willing to do for a job.
Yes. Don't go celebrating just yet. We haven't even heard what the thing is. They could be washing cars, for fuck's sake. We don't know.
I can wash cars. I'm great at washing cars.
I'm sure.
So is Irving. Have you seen him? He can reach those, like, really tall ones that I read in books. They're like big trucks, monster wheels.
Just be patient. Be patient. Don't get too excited. Could be a big disappointment. Well, we know this could be our very last day, but I doubt that.
With all of us, we're a power team. And the ship gets close to the docking station on the planet as it kind of slowly descends and docks into place. You know the drill at this point. As soon as you dock, there are two gentlemen waiting to escort you to an old western tavern that Caroline meets all of her clients. You travel off the dock. This dwarven planet is essentially a desert entirely, with being constantly shrouded in darkness. There's no chance for any plant life to thrive here. So it's just dust and buildings and people. You'll walk silently as you make your way through the desert into this small collection of buildings. It's very reminiscent of old earthen western media. A few buildings scattered, and the large tavern kind of towering over these other small buildings, immediately drawing your attention to it. Very classic swinging doors. As you step in, and you see Caroline Jackson sitting in one of the center tables. She's quite a heavy woman, but she wears it well, and you could absolutely guess that even though she doesn't look it, she is she probably holds a lot of muscle under that fat that she has. And she's dressed very, very feminine, which, when you first met her, definitely threw you off because she's human, and her face is perfectly adorned with makeup, despite being in probably her 50s at this point. She wears it so well, it doesn't look too heavy, and she dresses for her figure, which in what she's wearing right now, her figure looks amazing. And she's kind of sitting laid back, has a whiskey on her ice in her hand. She spots all of you walk in. Well, hi there, if it ain't my favorite group of people. Come in, have a seat. Can I get any of y'all anything to drink?
I'm okay. I'm sure you said that favorite line to every group of business people that you come across.
Nonsense. Quinn, you are one of my favorites. I basically consider you kin at this point. We've been working so long together. And Tony at this point chimes in. Yeah, I'll have a whiskey on ice, please. And Caroline, you know Caroline long enough that she doesn't tolerate Tony as well as the others. You see it kind of flicker in her face, that little bit of annoyance, but nonetheless, she turns back. Rardy, get this man some whiskey. There's a man behind the bar. There is a bar behind her, very well stocked, full of all these alcohols that you've seen before, but never anywhere else. Some of these are bottles that have barely been touched, gathering dust. Others are definitely a lot more regular liquor that you've seen around. But he continues, the bartender starts making the drink. Irving and Luna kind of keep quiet and follow your lead as you all sit down at the table. Now, how have y'all been? How's the little grifter rat life going for all of y'all?
I mean, it's going as well as a grifter's life can go. Constantly on the run, always looking behind your back. Conning good people, conning bad people. It's all a game, you know?
Don't I know it? That's why I just stick to where I'm at. I don't have to worry about nothing. I know who's coming. I know who's going.
It's a very good business model, ma'am.
Thank you. This is why you're my favorite. You're such a flatterer. Anyway, we all know I didn't call you here for some gossip and some sweet tea time. I have a little bit of an issue that's come upon my hands, and to be quite frank, you're the best of the best. And right now, I need the best of the best.
High praise. What's the job?
A few months ago, this girl came in. Very sweet thing. Doe eyes. Sweet as sweet can be. Really pulled at my heartstrings. You know how absolutely generous I am.
I do.
So, I lent her some funds. She came, she knew what she was getting into, knew the interest, knew the payback. Unfortunately, she has gone and disappeared on me.
So you want us to go track her down? I mean, don't get me wrong. Sounds like a good job. It's just, where does our skill set come into play?
Well, just before you came here, I did get word of her location. It's not too far from here, but you know me, like I just said, I don't like leaving my sweet little home here. If I need something brought to me, it's brought to me.
Of course.
She was last spotted over in the Diadel solar system, about a galaxy over. Don't know what she's doing there, but one of my very good associates let me know. And apparently they just did not have the means of getting her to me, which was a whole nother ordeal on its own and such a headache. Which is why I've called you in, because it is imperative, Quinn, that this girl was brought to me.
Well, I gotta say, I am honored that you thought of us. I think this sounds like a great job. How much is it paying? Is a question I feel is burning in the back of my associates' minds as well.
Well, of course, I'd love to compensate all of y'all. You actually have two choices that I'd like to present to you, because I am generous, and I love to provide options for my very trusted associates.
Of course.
I could compensate you financially. Be well worth your while. Y'all can get 1,000 credits each for this job. Or I can send a message to your mama.
There's a definite pause. There's a quick flip of a script for Quinn, for me. Hearing those words just said so casually. And like almost the air around Quinn changes. What'd you say?
Yeah. Killer Queen, isn't it? Ivy Garou.
You know what she is?
Well, the location I do not know, but I came across some very, very good information recently. Just a small contact line. Probably can only send one message before she blocks it and disappears again, but it's a message. How long has it been? 9, 10 years since you've last seen her? I'm sure you miss her dearly.
Can I do a sense motive check to make sure, like, like, you can't just be like, but here's $1,000, or you know the thing that you've been wanting for the past 10 years, here it is suddenly.
Yeah, absolutely.
What the hell? That's a 23. That's 18 plus 5.
23?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so she is absolutely telling the truth on this. She has a way to communicate your mother. It is just one message only. Just because it was so high, I'm going to give you this little tidbit of information. There is, like, a desperation that she has been covering up very well. But the second that you hear that and you start zoning in, it kind of clicks on just how desperate she is, that she's pulled up this piece of information of all things. You don't know how long she's been sitting on it. It's very much feeling like a last bluff sort of thing. She's telling the truth, but it's very much like a last ditch effort
to find this person,
to get you to agree this. Yeah. It kind of shows how desperate she is to find this person.
I think there's a long pause. Well, long in the sense that, like, it's longer than a couple seconds. But it feels like an eternity for Quinn, for me. I'm gonna say, I mean, now that's a price that's priceless. I gotta say, that's impressive. As always, you are quite impressive, Miss Jackson.
Thank you. I do what I do for a reason, and I'm good at what I do for a reason.
Would you happen to have the last remaining coordinates of where your target is?
Absolutely. She kind of snaps her fingers. One of the kind of men that are standing to the side that have kind of been watching your interaction steps forward, drops this small little disc that once it drops onto the table, kind of this map kind of appears. You recognize where you are, you see it on the map, and it's close up on the solar system that you are all currently in, but then as Caroline navigates it, she kind of motions her hand to kind of zoom out, and you see just over in the next galaxy, which with space travel these days would not take very long to get to. Right there, she zooms in, and you kind of see this like little blinking dot of where exactly her last coordinates were. And it's just outside this very small man-made planet that you've kind of heard about here and there. You know it as Catesis. You don't know much more. It's just a man-made planet that orbits around this one star, and it's the only planet orbiting this one star. And you kind of see as it's blinking kind of a little bit of ways away from it. She was found leaving this planet, so I don't know where she's going, but she should still be in the solar system if my informant was correct. And don't be mistaken, they're a very reliable informant, so they say she's here, she's here.
I guess all I would need to know, other than how soon you need it, is description, name. I mean, if you got a picture, I'll take that too.
Absolutely. And she kind of swipes on the map, and it switches to this image. Another human, much younger, probably early 20s. How Caroline described it was very accurate, very sweet looking, very doe eyes, very kind of doe-eyed, innocent looking girl, blonde. Looks a little bit on the thin side, like she's a little bit malnourished. But yeah. And you see kind of like an info block underneath. You see her name is Diana. Kind of like her age, which is like 21, her height, which is like just like a bunch of descriptive in the kind of info block underneath.
Gotcha.
Now, this disc you're free to have. It has the location of her last whereabouts and her photo. And kind of like slides the disc forward.
We'll take it.
The holograph like blinks out as it deactivates once it's you kind of figure that this is a very simple device that once it's laid on a table it kind of activates, and then once it's taken off it deactivates. It's a very simple image holograph.
He takes it and he hands it over to who does he hand it over to? Let's see. I think he hands it over to Luna.
Luna takes it wordlessly.
No time limit, just get it as soon as it can and go.
I would prefer ASAP. The sooner you get her to me, the absolutely more grateful I'll be. And hey, if you give me her super speedy, I'll throw in a little bonus.
I'm sure you can appreciate that, Tony.
And Tony's just like, kind of, throughout the whole interaction, Tony is a little bit kind of excited, especially socially, and never knows when to shut his mouth, but around Caroline Jackson is one of the very few times that you see him shut his mouth. But he's, as soon as like your mum was mentioned, he's kind of just been staring at this interaction with the biggest like gobsmacked face. And he, as like the question kind of snaps him out of it, and he's like, yeah.
Consider it done.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. I knew I could count on you. But Quinn, and kind of as like you're standing up to leave, she kind of rests a hand on your forearm, and kind of the very, very hospitable hostess demeanor that she's kind of displayed she's done it in all of her interactions. Anytime you've been, she's been a very hospitable, very generous, very friendly person. But as she reaches out a hand to touch your forearm, this is the first time you've seen that mask drop. And you have this moment where it kind of clicks into place now. Why she's so cutthroat, why she has this reputation of being the best. And her hand is resting on your arm and she looks you straight in the eyes. Quinn, I don't take kindly to people who betray me. I don't want you gaining conscience in all of this. You bring this girl to me. You get a message to your mama. Otherwise, I don't take kindly to people who don't do what they're told.
Just watching the hand, eyes slowly traveling up their arm, all the way to their eyes, is listening to their words, taking it all in. And he just gives his most gentlemanly smile. I'm a criminal, man. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about that, but you're the boss. So why would I betray the boss?
That I am. I knew I could count on you. Lifts her hand up and effectively dismisses you. You'll get up to leave, and that's when the bartender drops Tony's drink, and Tony's just kind of stuck in a motion of trying to look back from the glass to kind of the door where everyone's starting to leave, and just takes a glass, chugs it, kind of then like runs to catch up with you all.
You head back to the ship.
As you kind of make your way to the ship, once again, you are escorted to your ship. Describe what your ship looks like. I will say, before you describe, there is a mix of kind of like very traditional wooden pirate ships that people use kind of like in Treasure Planet. Or there are just very traditional spaceships. So, it's up to you.
This is a more traditional style of a spaceship. We're professionals. We're grifters. We're not pirates. There's a difference. We have a smuggling vessel. It's very fast, very sleek. It's supposed to get in, get out as fast as possible. Sharp like an arrow. It is meant specifically for speed. It's got your standard array of weapons, but it's not gonna take down any. We're not raiding anybody anytime soon. If we have a job, it is not going from ship to ship. It is going from planet to planet to do a job. I'm not bombarding anybody. I'm not a barbarian. I'm a con man. This is not how that's gonna work.
Alright. You will board your ship, slowly take off, and it's as usual, it's a long time before you stop feeling eyes watching you and your ship. But you're off, you're on your way to the next galaxy over, to the Diadal system. There's a moment where everyone's quiet before Luna speaks up. She kind of looks at you for the first time. What do you think about all of that? That was a lot.
Certainly was. Hey, hand me the disc real quick.
Of course. And kind of flips the disc to you like a coin.
Takes it. It's gonna immediately crack it open to see the insides of this thing.
Yeah.
See if there's anything, a tracker, or a speaker, or anything of the sort.
Alright. Roll me, I guess this would be engineering, I guess? Yeah, let's do engineering. Roll me in engineering.
Ooh. And that's a natural 20 for 23.
Amazing. You kind of study this disc. You haven't encountered many. It's kind of a very old-fashioned type of technology, but you know your way around it. And on the rim, very, very small, very minuscule. You probably wouldn't have caught it at any other time. But as you look, there's this tiny little chip that looks very out of place because it's not with any of the other wiring in this device. But it's a small chip, small blinking light.
Would I be able to determine if it's a tracker or a microphone or?
Oh, it's a tracker.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tracker. It's not big enough for like a recording device or any like I said, this is minuscule. Like you could have so easily looked this over and not noticed it. That's how small it is. It's probably like definitely around the size, just a little bit bigger than like the butt end of a needle. Of a sewing needle.
Right. Oh, okay. He
kind of like that thicker end where you like thread the thread through.
I'm gonna show everyone the tracker.
Kind of Tony and Irving look a little bit shocked. Luna doesn't seem surprised. Kind of like she expected it. She seemed really attached to this girl. She really wants her.
Enough to bring my mother into it, definitely, so. There's much more to this girl than she's just young and stupid. And took money from her once?
Yeah. Caroline isn't really one to get that attached to money enough to send 4 people after a young girl.
She owns a planet, right? The fact that she is sending us, knowing our skill set, knowing who we are, it's beyond fishy. It's as fishy as an ocean. Shit. I want to know who this girl is. Gotta see if we can find out before we even get there. Would there be like a database? This is me talking, Christian. Is there like a database of people we can like look for or into or something along those lines?
I would say if you're looking for like a database of like everyone in all the galaxies, that's a pretty big database. There are smaller ones kind of scattered around, but they're kind of really only for residents within that galaxy.
Right. Well, I'm looking mainly for people with like criminal records or.
Oh, so you're kind of like thinking of like other information brokers that you could probably get into contact with. Yeah, absolutely. You have kind of your run-of-the-mill, like Caroline is like the best of the best, but there are definitely some like other well-known ones, that are pretty good. If you want to get in touch with another information broker. You would know of one in the Daedal system. Yeah. It's not in the Daedal system, but it's like quite a ways away. It's not on your way. It's kind of like a little detour, but not by much.
Right. Well, I want to enter the system as cleanly as possible anyway. I want to make sure that they don't think we immediately start to deviate from any semblance of the planned route, because we are being watched constantly. So we want to act like we're behaving, act like we don't even know, act like we didn't even care to look, because it's so easy, it's so simple. So just following directions. And Quinn is just looking at this device. At the tracking device, closes the thing back up and activates it just to look at the map in the system and the girl, and is just pondering what is so special about this girl that the greatest information broker is willing to pay to find the most elusive woman in the galaxy, in the universe. Who the hell is this girl and why is she so important? It's not simple. It's never simple. Even if it wasn't important, it's never simple.
You know what? Roll me culture.
Culture. I can do that. That is a 21.
It's very lucky the DC was 20.
Oh. 14 plus 7. Love it.
So, as you're kind of looking over the solar system, and like you've heard of the Daedal system, you've heard of Catesis, and as you're kind of like thinking it over, you're really just thinking about every single piece of information you've heard about Catesis. Kind of starting to remember that like it's the first of its kind. It's full of inventions. It's become a little bit of a tourist spot. And then you kind of like really think, and you remember the smallest information. It almost surprises you, kind of at like when it hits you, you're surprised with yourself that you managed to remember this. You remember very, very, very long ago that a group of Lisi Guardians were found leaving Catesis. And there was a huge rumor mill that kind of went around Catesis being one of the checkpoints for a Lisi Guardian. But after that group, no one went to that planet ever again, so that theory quickly died down. But it's something that you remember hearing. Like you were at a bar, you were quite heavily tipsy. This guy was just raging on about like his theories about Captain Penelope. You're kind of over it. You've heard it all. It's up to you if you believe in that or not, but it's just kind of like you zoned out because it's just like ravers raving about stupid shit. But that was what he was raving at. And you know that Captain Penelope's very fated Ithaca is rumored to hold insurmountable treasures. And pirates do try to find Ithaca every now and then. But it's been very long since anyone's tried. Lisi Guardians or Lisi Holders is kind of, which has become a more slang term for it, have kind of long since been disregarded as anything other than fiction.
Right.
But as you're kind of thinking it over, Caroline wanting this girl so bad that it doesn't make any sense. She's seen leaving Catesis. This small, very malnourished looking girl that looks so young going to this fated planet that's for people that like inventions and get inspiration to invent things. It's definitely not a planet that you would ever think that a girl like her would go to, especially one that's looking for money and has borrowed money and is on the run.
Right.
It's a crowded planet sometimes, so she would have known going in that she would have been spotted by quite a few people arriving. So it was a risk she was willing to take. It's a theory that kind of jumps out at you, but take with that what you will, what your character would take with that information.
I think just during this thought process, this connecting of dots and of fairy tale stories and like the Ithaca, and like he's pulled con jobs using Ithaca as a crutch. It's a easy con. It's the Lost Air kind of con where you pretend to be a Lisi Guardian or know a Lisi Guardian, and you sell some crackpot story. And you're able to sell a planet on the cheap. It's Caroline would believe... If Caroline believes it, then it's gotta have some weight. Not some weight, a lot of weight. Caroline's a smart woman. No, definitely know that it's much bigger than I thought before. And I think during this thought process of both your thoughts and mine, Quinn's face is just going on like a journey of putting the pieces together. We're just watching map the girl over and over again. And his crew, or his compatriots, can see that he is in fact doing that. He's not hiding it.
Yeah, and Evan kind of speaks up about it. He's kind of standing to the side, doesn't speak a lot, very, very silent, very stoic, as he kind of is watching everyone interact. Tiny's gotten distracted as of fiddling with something or other, but he kind of stares at you watching you kind of flick through this. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking people are believing fairy tales a little more than usual.
Fairy tales?
It's a theory. Run a theory. I think this girl's got something to do with Ithaca.
And at this, Tony kind of perks up. Ithaca? No! That's like not real.
Hey, trust me,
We use that in like con jobs to trick people into thinking, "Oh my god, you found the treasure of a lifetime."
Yeah.
There's no way.
Hey.
Caroline? No.
I mean, it's the only reason she sends some people like us to go find this girl. This girl's just a jumper. If they were just skipping out on paying back, then you'd send any common thug, right? No. She sends us. Not only does she send us, she sends us with the caveat of knowing how to contact someone very dear to me that I've been looking for a very long time. The price Caroline is willing to pay to find this girl doesn't add up to a simple job. So, if we want to go outlandish with it, because this is just a theory, I don't believe that story either. Story. It's a pipe dream. But, if there is fire at the end of this pipe, then Caroline sees it. So, there's gotta be something to it. If it's not the truth, then it's gotta be something other than that. But that's as big as I think it can get. No.
I mean, I don't believe in it either, Mrs. Having speaking. But guess we'll find out when we see her. She'll have that little thing on the back of her hand. At least that's what the stories say.
I'm not a treasure hunter, but... and I don't want to be. That sounds like a mess I don't want a part of. Honestly, I'm good with talking with people. I'm not good at finding buried treasure. I'm good at pretending buried treasure exists to con out people other treasures, but not this.
Well, the sooner we find this girl, the sooner we find out why Caroline wants us so bad. And the sooner you get in touch with your mum. Luna kind of gives you a little like pat on the shoulder before making her way to the controls. Starts navigating towards the galaxy. You travel for a while. It's about a day's journey next galaxy over. There's always some IGL officers, the intergalaxian law enforcement. There's always some IGL officers kind of at the barriers of the galaxy. You know how to get past them. They don't even see you as you kind of make your way through the border of the galaxy. It's an instance of they kind of coast the border of the galaxy, and if they see anyone crossing, they try to pull them over and ask, kind of, why are you here? Blah, 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 blah. It's an annoying nuisance that is unnecessary, and most criminals hate it, so they avoid it at any cost. And easy enough to get through.
Mm-hmm.
But you make your way over to the Daedal system, which is just the one planet orbiting this one single star. And you kind of drive past it, not enough to get very much detail, but you see in the distance, you're passing the star, and the planet at the moment is kind of on the other side. So you see it slowly orbiting in the distance, but her kind of checkpoint is a little bit past the solar system. As you travel, you realize that you're about to make your way into a second solar system. We're kind of in between those two at the moment, and if she was seen leaving Catesis, you kind of can assume that she's made her way to this
other system.
Secondary solar system.
Right.
There's a few planets in this one. It's quite a larger star compared to the Daedal system.
Mm-hmm.
And there's quite a few planets orbiting this one. You look on the map. This is the Nadek system.
Nadek.
It's kind of like a residential solar system. There's a lot of people that live here. There's kind of one planet that's secondary in orbit that is kind of a shopping district planet. So you have a couple. It would take you a while to kind of go through all of these planets and look for her. So it is, unfortunately, at this point, a matter of picking a planet and hoping it's the right one. There's 2 to 3 residential planets and the one kind of shopping district planet.
Do we know what was the last planet they were on? Or is it just the system we knew that they were in?
Catesis. She was seen leaving Catesis. And
Catesis.
Yes, she was seen leaving Catesis. The informant followed her up until halfway.
Okay.
To this Nadek system.
To this Nadek system. I think we would just go to the closest planet after that,
right.
just to start out, cover our bases, to see.
So you make your way down to kind of one of the further planets. There's quite a large docking station by the different kind of residential homes seen on this planet. It's very homely. This is very much kind of a everyone knows everyone type of planet.
Mm-hmm.
You can absolutely immediately clock that if you walked around, people would notice if there was an outsider kind of that was hanging around.
Right. I have to ask this in general. So, with that in mind, Quinn puts on not like a hunter's or a bounty hunter's outfit. It's very still professional, still looking quite clean. It's just like a simple, just no iconography, just very simple suit of some ilk, of some organization or corporation, to not seem like a bounty hunter looking for a target, but a detective or someone looking for someone who's lost or just wants to find someone and make sure that they're okay. And he will approach people as such, looking for information.
Yeah, so when you dock your ship, you kind of do have to go through, if you'd like, up to kind of just the formal paperwork when it comes to docking a planet. Very simple, just how long are you planning to stay here, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just the very, very quick. I mean, they've been on so many planets, they kind of know to give the fake VIN numbers, everything's fake. There's no real.
Do you ask any of your compatriots to go with you, or do you ask them to stay on the ship?
I will ask Luna to come with me.
Alright. Luna will follow your lead and get changed into something a lot more kind of formal. Luna kind of follows your lead. She actually has quite a talent for kind of presenting herself as unseeming. It's one of kind of her favorite tricks. She'll act innocent and then chop off your fingers. So she's very good at kind of dressing up as kind of like your mousy little assistant. So she kind of gets dressed and changed and follows your lead as you head down. As you make your way off the docks, it's just sickeningly homey. There's a lot of there's apartment buildings, but there's also kind of homes for families. There's also kind of like a few shops here and there, very local businesses if people don't want to make the trip to the business planet, the shopping district planet, sorry. And there's a few people that immediately kind of clock you as you kind of walk up. Are you gonna just ask people you walk past? Are you going into businesses, knocking on doors? What are you doing?
I think just to keep as less eyes on us, so people don't really remember us too well. I think just going from shops and starting at shops, and then if that's a bust, then talking to random people is the best. Like, we're gonna look for someone who might have sold some last minute supplies to her. If she was on the run, she'd need certain items to make sure that she got through safely and quickly.
Absolutely.
But we're pretending to just be concerned workers, concerned lawyers, if you will, about trying to find her.
So you kind of go into the first shop. You kind of bring up the photo. They haven't seen her. Second shop, nothing. You walk into the third shop. It's kind of like an apothecary type business, very homeopathic, natural remedies. You walk in and the smell of just incense just hits your nose. You almost recoil at it. Very strong, such a variety of just herbs, incenses, all these different natural remedies. You see what you know is a Kasatha. They have kind of an elongated head, and they also have 4 arms. You know that a lot of Kasatha that you've encountered in the bounty hunter business, so it's very weird seeing this Kasatha dressed in soft pastels and has these kind of the very iconic little hippie glasses, and behind her are these kind of billboards of different homeopathic remedies. And she comes out, she goes, "Hello, welcome to my apothecary. I hope you are having a very relaxed day today. How may I help you?"
Yes, I am Agent Scully. This is my associate, Agent Mola. And we are with the Victoria Consortium. And we are currently looking for someone. They have been missing for quite some time, and we have been just trying to locate them. And it has been worrying, to say the least.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Worry is never good for the chakras.
Yes, it is.
What is this girl that you speak of? I hope to help.
Of course. And he turns on the hologram to show the young lady.
Oh, yes. Oh, what a sweet little thing. She just came through this morning. She needed some healing supplies. She had a very bad fall. Her leg was all gashed up. It was quite terrible. I sent her home with some of my best healing salves. It was such a pleasure treating her.
This is very good news. Did you happen to know where she was heading after you gave her your miraculous healing?
Oh, I think she was with someone from here. They seemed local. They come into my store all the time. Let me see if I can pull them up on my registry. Kind of like two of her arms kind of tap away on this little kind of database device, kind of like a checkout. The other two arms start beginning to like light even more incense and kind of placing it. I hope she isn't in too much trouble. She did seem quite... Her mind was quite away when I treated her. Still typing
Hopefully
away.
that we find her in time. We may want to make sure that she is okay. You know, it's quite dangerous in this big universe.
Yes, the galaxy is such a dangerous place. It's why I stay here with my neighbors. We're all such lovely people. Take care of each other. Love each other. It is the most healing of energies to surround yourself with. It's taking a long time.
Yep.
As she kind of types up. Oh, yes. Oh, Tabitha. One of my favorites. She's one of the elderly that I treat for some knee pain that she gets when it gets quite cold. If you go down this street... And kind of starts giving you directions. And then if you go down this avenue... And there's a very lovely house. I've been there. You should absolutely ask for some tea while you're there. She makes some of the best mixes I have tasted. Truly healing of the chakras.
He may take you up on that, Doc. That's very good.
Yes. Send Tabitha my love. And kind of gives you the final. And it's just the house with the blue roof.
What was your name again? Just so I can tell them.
Oh, yes. My name is Drea.
Gotcha. I will make sure that they know that you sent us over to them.
Amazing. I do hope that you get this girl home and safe.
Can I just get like I just want to get like a sense motive, just to see you. This woman is This woman is spacey.
Go for it.
Like this woman is so spacey. I love her personally. That's an attitude. I love her personally, but like,
yeah,
Quinn is gonna be suspicious of everybody.
She's
She's
putting on an act. This is all an act just to get people to buy her shit.
I love it so much. I think knowing like it's how much of an if it's an act, if he knows it's an act, he's just like he may want to and they'll like lean in a little close. You may want to make sure that if you're trying to sell something, too much smoke in the air.
And there's a moment of she's considering if she wants to keep up with the act and play dumb. She leans in and goes, Listen, buddy, it pays the bills and the old people love it. They don't have any smells left, so you really need it strong for them to smell a single thing.
I figured that was the case. Hey, do what you gotta do. Get your money. Respect.
Alright.
Yeah.
And she kind of like goes back into like her very flowy persona.
Love that. Love her. And we'll look over to Luna and be like, let's go find ourselves a blue roof.
You follow the directions. You eventually find the house with a blue roof. It's a very quaint cottage. Gorgeous garden that's been upkept. It has plants native to the planet. So it's kind of all of these vibrant pinks and purples. And you go and knock at the door. It's a few minutes before this very old woman opens the door. Yes, hello. Kind of this decrepit old woman.
Oh no.
She is old.
Yes. Bless your heart. Hello, my name is
What?
Oh, okay. Hi. My name
Hello.
is Scott. I am with
Scott.
Yes, I am with the Zeus Corporation. I am currently looking for somebody that might be in your care.
Oh. Who are you with?
Zeus Corporation, ma'am.
Zeus Corporation. I don't want any subscriptions today. It starts like closing the door.
No, ma'am. I'm not here to sell you any kind of magazine. I'm looking for a person. I'm looking for a young woman. She's gone missing, and we were sent to find her.
You're looking for who?
And we'll back up and then show the projection. Her name is Diana, ma'am.
Oh, yes! Diana, dear! There's some nice young people here! There's a moment before the woman walks out. She's a lot more kind of haggard looking than the photo last took of her. It's obviously in the time that the photo was taken to now, she's been going through it. She has a little limp to her leg.
Mm-hmm.
And as she kind of rounds the corner into the hallway and spots the two of you,
don't run.
Runs.
Damn it! It's just like, excuse me. I was gonna gently slide them over before running, because I'm not gonna bombard. I may be a con man, but I'm not a monster. I'm not gonna shoulder check an old woman like a linebacker. I was just gonna like gently, like gingerly, like go, and he just like tells Luna to go as he follows after them.
And you just make these observations as they're running. But she's like too old to really like do anything. She's just standing there being like, oh, what's happening? But
and we give chase.
You're giving chase. She I rolled a nat 20 for sense motive, so she immediately clocked you guys.
Oh yeah.
She darted out the back door. She's running with a limp, so it's not like she's not fast, but I'm gonna get you to roll we'll roll challenging acrobatics checks.
Acrobatics, okay. 18.
She is, while has a limp, she is quite like nimble. She's jumping over gates with amazing efficiency. You're kind of breakneck speeding with her limping, but she's just kind of throwing shit behind her, and it's kind of making you kind of stop for a second. You get to a part where you kind of enter this backyard, and she finds this like cage of chickens that she just opens and just like throws the cage. So you've got all these like frantically chickens just like clucking at you. Roll another acrobatics. This is going to be like a continuous thing.
I rolled an 11.
All right. You're gaining speed. She's kind of starting to very quickly lose energy. And you're catching up. You're kind of jumping over fences. Luna falls behind a little bit. real bad. But she's like trying to keep up with you. You're still kind of just jumping in through backyards. You're kind of in like a long street. So she's just trying to like lose you by like jumping into various backyards, kind of going straight and then ducking to the left and then ducking to the right. This is the last roll. It's kind of like a best 2 out of 3 situation.
Gotcha. I rolled a 15 plus 5, 20.
You're running, and there is a moment where you think you've lost her, and you go into this backyard, but you can't see where she's gone, and you're kind of looking around, but then you spot her kind of behind a tree, and you quickly like run forward and you grab her arm, and she kind of like starts immediately like trying to fight, like get off me.
You already made me run. I'm already got adrenaline going. You don't want to see what happens after that. Stop. Just stop. Breathe. Okay? Breathe with me.
What do you want? You're after the Lisi? You want it? You can have it. Here.
Well,
and Will, like, she's holding, you see the arm that she's grabbing? You see the tattoo. It has a section of coordinates on it. You want it so bad?
That was not my intention at all.
And if you would like to describe the sentimental act of affection, as she kind of leans forward and begins performing this act, I would like you to describe the action and the memory that holds the most value to you.
I think it's a headbutt.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a headbutt. And the memory in an axe is the last time Quinn talked with his mom when he was 14. He just couldn't pull off this con right. Couldn't figure out he couldn't memorize some script he was given. And he's trying too hard to memorize all the words. Trying to do the script verbatim. And I think while practicing, his mom walked up to him and just bonked him on the head with her own and just told him, you're using your head too much. You gotta use all of your organs. You gotta use your head, of course, but you gotta use your heart. You gotta use your lungs. You gotta use your stomach. All of those things inside of you tell a story. You can't just rely on one. You gotta use all your senses, not just one. Because it will hurt if you use one too often. Just like now. And that's like the last big lesson he got from her before she suddenly disappeared without a word, without a trace. And that's like the last sentimental thing he remembers.
Yeah. So it all happens so quickly. You grab her arm, she's wrestling, she's fighting, you tell her to breathe. There's a moment where she breathes and she says what she says, and before you can even register what she's saying, what she's meaning, the tattoo glows slightly, and this kind of faint glow also happens around her irises as she kind of like looks like that she's listening to something before she rears back and headbutts you. And it invokes that same feeling, and you are socially stunned as kind of this bright blinding light kind of overtakes your eyes as you're suddenly surged back into that last moment that someone headbutted you, your mother headbutting you, teaching you this valuable lesson that you still follow to this day. And you kind of stumble back and you feel Luna kind of catch you and steady you. And there's this ringing in your ears as you're processing what's happening. Because she didn't headbutt you that hard, but you feel so confused. It's this ringing that's kind of traveling into your head. And you kind of blink it away and shake it and open your eyes, and Diana's gone. You look frantically, and kind of Luna's looking at you with concern. What happened? What did she do? Are you okay?
Where'd she go? Where is she?
Shit! And kind of like looks up and kind of like goes to the nearest fence and kind of like hoists herself up to like look over, but damn it! Are you okay?
I don't know.
And as you kind of bring your hand kind of holding your head, you spot a set of coordinates in the back of your hand.
Oh, that's not good.
Holy shit.
Gets up. They're still looking at the coordinate, the tattoo. Fuck.
What are you gonna do?
Give me a second. And there's just no trace of Diana at all. Just gone.
You can try and roll a perception check to see if...
I rolled a 10.
She's gone. Whatever gave you kind of that stunning effect, she took full advantage of and immediately bolted. And by the time you recover, and by the time that Luna noticed that she was gone, no chance.
Mm-hmm. Fuck. Just like instinctively trying to rub it off. The fuck is this shit?
Luna's just like, kind of a little gobsmacked. I can't believe it's real.
You think this real? It's parlor trick shit. It's a little trick. There's gotta be some kind of trick to get it off. Come on. I'm just trying to like wipe it off.
Doesn't move. It is embedded in your skin. Caroline's gonna kill us. Cause I'm sure as fuck not giving you to Caroline.
It's just stunned. It's just like the reality is setting in.
Come on,
it's
we
just
gotta
like,
go. We gotta go. And she's like,
go
immediately-
where?
I don't know. Just not here. She's kind of just like freaking out a little for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get back to... let's at least get back to the ship. Figure out a game plan. Maybe she's not... Maybe this is apology. Maybe it's not real, and she just wants Diana for the money. So we just find her again. She can't have left the planet. She's still here.
She's still here. She's still here. We can find her. We can find her again. It's easy. That's what we do. We can find anything. We can do anything. Great.
Let's just go back to the ship and regroup.
Yeah. Just dusts self off. Tries to like... Not like stuffs his hand in his pocket. Just trying to not see it or mention it or even like acknowledge it, but he knows it's there.
You turn and look, and there's this little Ysoki child that's in like a kiddie pool, has like little floaties, and it's
Mhm.
just like he's holding like a little like pirate ship that he seemed to have been playing with in the water, and is just staring at the two of you. Mom!
Get out of here. Gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. Can't be with kids. Gotta run. Just gotta run. Ugh.
You make it out. You do see the tail end of like the penguin. What is it, sweetie? What is it? There's people in the backyard. But by then you're long gone.
Yeah.
You make it back to the ship. Irving and Tony kind of see the two of you. Tony goes, no good. On to the next planet.
We gotta just closes the ship and like Luna, get the ship running. We're getting out of here.
All right, and Luna kind of goes, and Irving goes, that was quick. Did you even... Was there just no sign of her?
And I think they genuinely, again, no hiding it. There's a genuine freak out on Quinn's face as he just sits down and takes his hand out of his pocket and is just rubbing his hands on his face.
Holy shit. What is that on your hand?
Fairy tale.
Tony just like, for the second time today, just looks absolutely gobsmacked, and it's just jaw drops. No. Are you serious? And he like surges forward and he like grabs your hand and is just like kind of like looking at it, kind of like rubbing at it as well.
Then he pulls his hand out away from him.
Shit. It's real. Yo, we can find Ithaca now. Let's go.
We're not finding Ithaca. Tony. That's not happening.
I mean, you have it. You have the coordinates. We just have to follow the checkpoints. And kind of, Irving kind of comes over and gives him like a little pat on the back, like a little tap on the back of the head, kind of. And he goes, oh, you're so strong. You really gotta watch those hits. Irving just...
It's not that simple. Thank you, Irving. It's not that simple. This is what she's after.
So what are we gonna do?
I don't know.
You kind of glance over, and you see Luna putting in the coordinates for the first planet that was written on the back of your hand.
Luna, what are you doing?
Listen. We thought it was a fairy tale, but it isn't anymore. You can give it to someone else, but whoever we're giving it to, we're giving to Caroline. Caroline wants them, it's not for anything good.
Caroline wants treasure. That's all that the Ithaca is, right? It's treasure, that's it? It's a fairy tale. It's not supposed to exist. It's not supposed to be real. I gotta give this to some. We can't keep it. We can't stay with this. This is...
Let's at least check out the planet. See what's... Maybe there's a way to get it off at the first planet.
Right, yeah. You're right. Oh my god. Just doesn't even want to bring his hand to his closest, almost like bring it as far away from him as possible, just keeping it stretched out, like it's infected, and is like looking at it. His, like leg is bouncing as he sits down. He's just looking at it, like blinking, like holding long blinks to like if I close my eyes, maybe if I don't pay attention, it'll go away, and it just doesn't. And it's...
Listen, I don't think Caroline wants a leasey holder for any good reason, and my loyalty is to you, not her. She was willing to get a message to your mom. That's not anything good. She didn't want to just have a chat with this leasey holder and work together to find Ithaca. I'm not risking it. So we're figuring out a way to get this off you, and then lay low and pray to high hell that Caroline forgets about us.
Not with this thing. And he holds up the disc. Remember tracking us?
She sees it, immediately puts the ship on a break, kind of like lurching it. She grabs it, opens the door, with like big whoosh, because like you were just like taking off and lifting, so you're kind of at a stationary, halfway kind of out of the atmosphere, and she chucks it into a nearby passing ship. Closes the door, gets back into the pilot.
Okay, well, now we're definitely in it now. Okay. It's like looking at Luna with like the most "I'm so sorry I may have ruined your life" expression.
Don't look at me like that. Makes me feel weird and sad. Listen, you've saved my life more than I can count. I've saved yours. This is just a part of it. I'm just saving your hide, like you'll inevitably save mine. And we'll figure it out. Hey, who knows? Maybe if we get it off onto another person, we can take that person to Caroline. I don't want to take you to Caroline because I'm not risking. We can get it to someone else. How did she get it on you? She headbutted you. What was that about?
She headbutted me. There was a flash. Nice.
Trainee Connie jumps up. Headbutt me! Headbutt me! I want it! Headbutt me!
I'm not gonna headbutt you, Tony.
He headbutts you.
Ah!
Ah! Ah! Damn it! Kind of like through the like grimacing through the pain, looks at his hand. Damn it!
I told you it wouldn't work. I don't know how it works. I didn't know what's... Fucking... And it's just... She headbutt me. There was a flash of light. And then... I thought about the last time I saw my mom. Last time I saw her. Then when it ended, she was gone. And I had this thing on my hand.
Evan kind of is studying all of this, thinking, did she use any magic? Luna, did you see her use any magic? Luna shakes her head. No, she just headbutted him. Quinn seemed really out of it. I thought she'd done something to him, so I went to check on him, and he was out of it for a few minutes. And this is news to you, because it felt like seconds.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Minutes? That doesn't sound right.
It was like, I thought you were really hurt. You You looked like you were in pain for so long. That's why I didn't notice she was gone. I thought she did something to you.
It felt like seconds to me. She did do something to me. She said if I wanted it, I should take it. Before I could ask what she was talking about, she did what she did. Now we're here.
Standing back. That must mean that's not the first time she's been hunted. She probably thought you were after the Lisi. There are enough fanatics out there that'll track him down and beg for it if they knew this was real. I mean, we've done enough cons before where we've given people Lisis.
Yeah.
Some of them are...
A lot of that was bullshit, and a lot of that was just words. You know, just words. It's a good technique. It's a good tactic. Just use words, not headbutting people and using weird magic to give fairy tale maps on people's back in people's hands. It's all bullshit. No, it's not.
Well, maybe the first coordinates will give us some clues. And there's a moment of silence between you all as this chaotic chain of events kind of settles in with all of you, realizing what exactly just happened, what's at stake here, and what you have just done, who you have just betrayed. Not intentionally, but betrayed nonetheless. And there's barely a word spoken as the ship travels through space, through the galaxy. There's a melancholy to it. This is the first time anything has happened to the four of you that you really don't know what this means. It's always been, you get a job, you do it, you get paid, on to the next. But this isn't a job. It's something that you have to figure out. You look at these coordinates on the back of your hand. The skin rubbed raw from you trying to rub it off, thinking that this was just another con, one of the many cons that you yourself have performed on people. It's a weird type of karma, you think to yourself. All the cons that could have bit me in the ass, and it had to be this one. It's not long that you're traveling for. A few hours. Silence is thick between all of you. There's a fear in the air that has never been there before. And you feel the ship slow, and you feel yourself look up towards this planet, and it's an unseeming planet. You can see the geography of it, rich and bountiful in flora. You see little speckles of cities. It's so normal. Why is this the checkpoint? But maybe it has answers. Hopefully you can get this off. As the ship comes to a stop, resolve yourself. This is real. You're in it now. You're on your way to finding Ithaca. That's where we're going to end our session.
So excited!
Yay!
Oh my god! Yay!
Oh my god. That was so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you!
Just as a little after session, little kind of promo. Christian, tell me what you do. Tell me everything about you so that we can put it in the episode. Give me it all. Give me your spiel. Promo.
Of course.
Promo yourself to me.
Promo myself. Okay, I got you. Hi, everybody. Hey, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, all over the internet. Mainly on TikTok and Twitch. I am a TTRPG performer, an educator here in the space. You can find me all over the internet as a Fluffy Goomba, where I play games with all my friends and including this one. Oh my god, this is so good! I cannot wait. You can find all the other games I'm a part of on my Linktree, on my Twitter. I'm not calling it X. Smoke Signals. You can find me just a bunch of websites. And I will be talking about this game for so long. I'm so excited. So I got saddled with some responsibility I don't want. Love it.
I am the GM, Depthe like the ocean. You can find me on all things via Chaotic Bunny. And I look forward to seeing you all for our next session, 0, that we'll be releasing, so stay tuned.